All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday of the Footy Fantasy Podcast. It comes to you at 3 p.m. every Sunday. Uh, Today we have the panel is stacked. The panel is stacked today, and I already feel sorry for EJ because she's the one who does the editing, and this thing is going to be long. I'm just saying. So I apologize in advance. But before we proceed, I want to introduce our man in the top right corner, man like his Arsenal fan. What's going on, bro? It's been a long time since I saw your face.
It's been a long time, man. The last time when me and you go head to head, I almost cried. So
no, I don't know why I don't know why you wanted to cry. It was a glorious day. It was a marvelous, fantastic day.
So
well, good to see you again, bro.
I decided to stay away for some time. I go regroup,
Well, get ready to go away again this season because you are going to need double regrouping. Anyway, our own, how should we even call him? Our own inside, in-house philosopher, in-house football / African football philosopher. Man like Itata, how's it going, bro? I'm ready for another dose of wisdom because you're always dropping wisdom.
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I showed up like I told you. I showed up trembling. These are football gangsters. From a his to Gakwame and the coach himself. He has come today with black magic. Look at his wrist.
Yeah, exactly.
Black magic.
Exactly.
We are in trouble.
If you knock you one like this, if you wake up,
this is a proper African man. He has crucifix and African magic.
Exactly. Man of God. Man of God himself. Yeah, me, what's going on, bro? Good to see you.
Doing man, how you guys? I see the reason why Ayo would never put us both. Shut up. Yeah, you know, not like this. You just can't. Our secret conversation come outside. Hi, man. I hope everybody's doing well. That's all that matters. Man.
Yeah. We're doing well, man. We're doing well. Good to see everybody. Before we start on the topics we're going to talk about today, if you have not done so already, go ahead and follow this channel on YouTube. It's Footy Fantasy. We post match reactions on the channel, and we post podcasts like this. It's all on the channel, and there will also be like a highlights version of today's podcast in like the next 24 to 48 hours. We're also on Twitter, well now X, and we are Footy 80 Fantasy on that platform, and on Instagram we are Fantasy Footy. If you like our content, please don't hesitate to share and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And also, feel free to join us in the comments. I'm sure Ayo can post the link to join if you want to just, pop in for 2 minutes, make a comment, and then, we'll kick you out the studio. But feel free to join us as we're going to be discussing several football-related topics. This weekend, there's no Premier League. And look, I'm excited. I'm happy. My mental health is is in an amazing place just because Manchester United does not play at all. If you don't play, you can't lose. So but we're gonna start with the number one topic that has dominated football discourse in the last 3 days, really, and that's Everton. Everton has been docked 10 points, and it's effective immediately. Like, if you go look at the Premier League table now, they're sitting at number 19 with 4 points. And it looks, I mean, I think they will still escape relegation, but if they don't, I mean, that's going to be something that I will expect maybe some, legal action on, because I think this case is far from dead. But just by way of background, the Premier League did some investigation. They started the investigation in February of this year, and they were looking into Everton and the possible violation of the Premier League's version of FFP, financial fair play. They call it profit and sustainability rule. And under the Premier League rules, a club is allowed to, over the course of 3 seasons, a club is allowed to lose about 105 million pounds. Everton was determined to have lost, I think, the numbers vary. I heard 124, I heard 300 and something, but Everton was cooperative throughout this investigation process. They did not fight the Premier League, unlike Manchester City. They kind of sort of put their hand up, and they allowed the investigation to run its course. And the independent body within the Premier League decided that, for violating the profit and sustainability rules in the 21-22 season, they should be docked 10 points. The Premier League initially recommended a deduction of 12 points, but the panel came back and issued a 10-point deduction. I'm going to start with you, Tata. What do you think about this? And I want you to talk about it in terms of what this could possibly mean for future clubs, aka Chelsea, aka Manchester City, and possibly Manchester United too, because we did have a little bit of FFP issue at some point.
I think this would ultimately be a case of mockery. Well, Gakwame, I hope you come back.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I just stepped away real quick.
Okay, I think that this would ultimately be a case of mockery, the way I'm looking at it. So the rich kids would have their way, and the poor kids maybe not so much. And it's usually typical with life. And I'm going to see how that is going to play out, because it's been so swift. To be honest, I haven't, when I saw the article, when I read it halfway, the points were already deducted. It was so swift. Allow me read the article first. It was just like that, 10 points. So what this will do is the poor kid, or relatively poor kid in these terms, when you consider Manchester City and Chelsea, the poor kid is going to try to fight. The fight might be futile, but what this will do is turn that headlight on Chelsea and Manchester City. And I know for both clubs, especially for City, I learned all of their lawyers are part-time James Bonds, part-time Spartacus. So we're going to see where this lands.
Time out. Part-time James Bond, part-time who again?
Spartacus. So we are going to see where this lands, and they say that, there is no smoke without traces of fire. I think eventually, down the road, it might not be this season. I think eventually, just because Everton and other clubs wouldn't want to just lie down quietly, City and Chelsea will be punished. They will get some sort of punishment, but I think it would be a slap on the wrist. Just because they're the dubious children that bring success to England.
Yeah.
If Everton won the treble, I think it would be a different conversation. This is how I see it.
Yeah.
If Everton were some rich club who won the treble and have won the Champions League and Premier Leagues and have been playing well in Europe, I think they would have gotten a slap on the wrist. But we'll just see how it plays out. I know the headlight is definitely going to turn on City and Chelsea eventually.
Yeah. I have to disagree with that. Ehis, what's your... Ehis, they were talking about how Everton did not really fight this. It was more like they accepted guilt, right? And they were only just hoping for a light sentence. Do you think they should have just thrown their hand up, or should they have fought it the way Manchester City is doing?
I would say I think Everton, they will eventually fight it, because I was listening to Sky Sport and they were saying something about an appeal or something. But for me, I think the most worry for me for Everton is not about whether as a result of this issue, Manchester United or Chelsea or Manchester United will be affected, whether now or later in the future. My worry is that how would Everton cover this 10 points? You know, like Everton is a small club, like you said, they might not have the finance to fight the Premier League for this action, but I think it will be a big blow going forward because Everton, like we know, they struggled and they managed to survive last season. So for me, I think this season they are more in deep trouble. Like Son Josh, we have to be extremely smart to keep Everton in the Premier League this season. And if they don't stay in the Premier League this season, they will lose more money. So for me, I think the biggest worry should be how Everton will survive. You know?
Okay. Yeah, and
said City,
I know
they can always find their way because they are rich. Like Itata said, they play in Europe. Like they have a lot of money. They have lots of D's and endorsement compared to like Everton, who will be. It will be very difficult from them to recover from this punishment. And I think on the second thought, this is too harsh for a team like Everton. You know, it's too much. 10 points is a lot.
Talking about harshness, and you know the appeal that you talked about. Yes, they did. Everton did say they were going to appeal it. But and of course I don't know anything about, I guess, the legal process when you're fighting things like that in courts of sport or whatever. But I think because Everton already they already admitted fault, right? So the only thing they can appeal now going forward is the severity of the punishment. So the issue that is left for any adjudicator to decide is whether is 10 points too harsh, is it too lenient? That's all that is there to talk about. And it looks like there is no for the Premier League, this is a case of first impression. There's no precedent for this.
okay.
So they just that's the 10 points just came out of nowhere. It didn't come as a result of, oh, we did this to these clubs 5 years ago.
Right.
And because of that, we're following the pattern that is already set. So I guess, Yemi, my question to you is like, how is this? Because Everton was charged with one rule violation, right? People like Manchester City have 114.
Yeah.
If Everton is getting 10 points,
That's the 50th of English football.
bro, where is Manchester City going to end up?
Well, this works in life. Like in life, you have to look at this. The big dog remain the big dog. So the big dog is killed by another big dog. It's hard for you to find a big dog that naturally dies.
Yep.
A big dog dies a natural death or he's overthrown.
Yeah.
By a big dog. Me saying this is the fact that Man City is a big dog. Now, not just a big dog in the Premier League, they're a big dog in Europe.
Yeah.
They're a big dog all over the world right now.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, Man City, Man City. This is a juggernaut of a team backed by a country, a very influential country.
Yeah.
What this means is, in as much as, okay, so now let's just say you come now and then like they set it in precedence of 10 points. If you dog City 10 points, does it stop them from not winning the league? No. All those times that you see them now that they just listen or put on a run in February that will take them to the end of the season, where like they start chopping heads. Liverpool, United,
Yep.
Arsenal. They just Pep can just decide, you know what, we'll just
3 games winning straight.
Let's start in the middle of December. Anybody just be chopping, they'll win the league.
Yeah.
The thing about it with City is they have an army behind them. Influential army that are not just in the ears of the Premier League, but are also in the ears of UEFA.
Of governments too.
In the ears of FIFA. These are people that are pumping money, resources into the game.
Yeah.
So if you are going to dock them, I don't think they will get, even if they get that 10 points deduction. If this, that's why I said that now matters in terms of what this Everton does. If Everton sit down and don't fight this in terms of the severity, the 10 points will just be the basis standard. If they come for Man City, which I believe they should, and they are going to, maybe Man City will just be docked a lot of money. But even if you dock Man City a lot of money, you are docking a country that is swimming in oil
How
a
much?
lot of money and 10 points.
Yeah.
What does that do to City?
Nothing.
You dock City 10 points, then that means they are now on the same level with Liverpool in terms of the title challenge.
Yeah.
So,
or even Arsenal, you know.
I mean, it's
Or even Arsenal.
Well,
I beg, yeah, we continue.
no. You're right. You're right with Arsenal too. Put Arsenal. I mean, we can also put Spurs too. We can put Manchester United. We can put Sheffield United. But again, that's just.
But you know what's even crazier is this. I was listening to David Ornstein, and he was saying that the Premier League is planning to change the FFP rules or modify the FFP rules in 2025 to read more like the UEFA FFP rules. The UEFA rules are a little more generous. They're a little more lenient. They're not as strict as the current Premier League rules. So I can easily see a situation where, say, Everton gets relegated, right? And they're still in the Championship as of 2025. And the rules change, right? And it turns out that Everton would have been in compliance with the new rules, but then they've already been relegated. This is just a whole mess.
It's a mess.
It's a whole mess because, and I think I think it started from Everton not contesting this thing. They should have just contested it from the very beginning, taken the Manchester City style position, and use Manchester City as a yardstick. Let the Manchester City case go ahead. Let that, get to some kind of maturity and then use that as a precedent. Because the Everton case, in my view, is a very minor case compared to the Chelseas, the Manchester Cities. Those two clubs should be they should be the template for everybody to follow. Everton should never be the template. Why? Because I don't think they overspent. Let's even talk about them overspending. Okay, COVID was a pandemic that affected every football club. That's one. Two, remember Everton was I don't know if he was a part owner or some kind of major investor. Usmanov was sanctioned big time, right? And a lot of his company was meant to put in a lot of money in terms of like naming rights for the new stadium they're building. There was some kind of money that was supposed to come from Usmanov's company for their training complex, Finch Farm. There were so many sponsorship deals that would have come from, that Usmanov, I guess, pipeline that they lost because of the sanctions, right? And even then, Everton sold Anthony Gordon because they wanted to comply with FFP. They sold which other player did they sell to comply with FFP? I forget who.
Richarlison.
They sold Richarlison to comply with FFP. They sent Idrissa Gana Gueye, I think back in 2020 or something, sent him to PSG to comply with. So everything has demonstrated. They've demonstrated that, look, we might have been in violation, but we're trying our best to bring ourselves into compliance. I just think 10 points is too harsh. I think it's too harsh, and it goes back to what you guys are saying.
We also have to look at it this way. Can we look at it this way? The team that the Premier League can actually take a stand on to try and enforce this thing won't be the Man Cities of this world, because they are just a huge juggernaut of it. You can bully the small clubs like the Evertons because no matter which way you go at it, they are the ones that you can go at. They are not the bottom of the bottom clubs. They have heritage. They have years of being in the league. So now they've been in the league for years. So man, they are respected men. Not won anything. So you can go at them and let that be the basis of your stuff and set an example. To say, man, if we can do this to this team, that means Man City, Chelsea, United and stuff, we are coming after you. next. So nice. Either you put your house in order, or try and do some stuff behind the scenes to compensate for the bad stuff you've done in the past. A lot of people were talking about Manchester United, why we didn't spend, why we don't have money. Could it be like folks already knew that this was going to happen? That's why a lot of teams, they spend, it got to a point you start hearing they don't have any more money. When you know that this is a juggernaut of a club, money, they are making money. But suddenly, look at United now. January last season, we couldn't buy anybody. We had to loan.
Didn't we even get fined like a few months ago for FFP?
I think we paid about 300 grand.
I think we paid something. Notice that. So that's why, like in January last season, we couldn't buy anybody. We had the money, but because of this thing, there's no money. This past summer now, there's no money. They bought 3 players, and they said we can only spend big on 3 players. After that, the rest has to be loaned because there's no money. So like listen, I felt like this was already coming. It's just that City was just too strong a team and too strong in terms of momentum that you just go and hammer them at that point. But I think Everton was just being bullied. To be honest, it's just they were just
used as a scapegoat. I would say.
Scapegoat.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Let me read this comment that came in from Ola. He says Everton still broke the rules. By the way, Ola is a Liverpool fan, so but I know he can be fair. Everton still broke the rules. Derby County also got punished in the championship. Everton only tried to comply. After they knew they were in trouble, true. Other clubs sell players to balance books. COVID affected everyone. That is true. And all I'm saying, Ola, is that I feel like those efforts Everton made should have been considered as some kind of mitigation, mitigation factors to at least bring down the punishment. And if you need to throw the book at anyone, throw the book at the big clubs first. The ones that have the money to fight. The ones that have. I mean, Everton are in. They're a club with football heritage, at least English football heritage, and all those things, but they're not. I mean, it's like fighting. It's like trying to fight the smallest dog. And no, that's. I just think they should have thrown the book at the big dogs first, and then that should have served as some kind of example to Everton and the rest of the clubs. But let's shift gears. Let's shift gears to the next topic. And talk about the most underrated manager and player in Europe right now. You want to start us on this one?
Jesus Christ.
Now you are the football coach now. You and Itata are the philosophers on this thing.
Itata might know this guy. I know like a lot of us will mention the Sporting Lisbon coach. Amorim. Different coaches I know, but I'm going to take us to a name that we probably don't know about. Probably around our age, 36, 37-ish. He coaches at Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa. He's not in the international scene. Rulani Makwena.
Okay.
At Mamelodi Sundowns, he's coached about 55 to 60 games. He has not lost a game in his league.
Oh, wow.
Last season,
Sundowns are in the Champions
League. He won the equivalent of the UEFA Cup last season.
Okay.
And he lost out of the CAF on the CAF Cup, the main CAF Cup, just like the Champions League.
Yeah.
In the semifinals. This guy is 37.
Wow.
The brand of football, he does not have a fixed brand. He's like Zidane. He calls himself a thief.
A thief?
Yeah, he's a tactical thief. He calls himself a tactical thief. You know what that means? He copies from everybody. So he's really good at his in-game adjustments. I watch about a friend of mine told me about him the middle of last year. So watch out for this guy. So I started watching South African football. he is so flexible. Like, it's in-game adjustments. You see 3-5-2, then you switch to 3-1-6, then you
Can you
switch.
guys hear me?
Yeah, Zaza, hold on 1 second. We'll
I
come to
can't
after
hear you
your-
guys.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have to log back in. I can't hear a thing.
Yeah, come back. All right, go ahead.
So basically, he's the type of guy that switches in, like his in-game decision.
Like you see like 4 different formations in the same
He
game.
can do 4 different formations. His ability to read the game and adjust to what is around him makes him really good. He's one of the most spoken about these coaches in Africa, and he's only 37. But he will tell you in Africa, but like I know he's not in Europe. A lot of people will mention those young names. I'm just trying to shine a light on.
I would actually look him up because I've not
Rulani Makwena coaches at
Mamelodi Sundowns.
Mamelodi
Sundowns. Okay, I'll look him up.
The guy is coming up.
Okay, we'll go to Ahis next, but let me take comments real quick. Ola goes, City haven't gotten away with it yet. Why are people talking as if Everton and City crimes are the same? City are still under investigation. They have 115 offenses, not 1. I agree with you, Ola. I agree with you. The point is this. The reason we're suspicious is we've been here before. We've been here before. Like the small dogs always, get hit over the head, even more than the big dogs do. And City's 115 offenses. So it's like the way, most of those offenses are like repeat offenses for Manchester City. So they have 1 offense, but then 40 different counts of the same offense, right? So if City argues successfully against 1 charge, for example, that argument knocks away 50 charges automatically or something like that. So even though it's 115 different offenses, it's more like maybe
duplicates.
It's duplicates. It's no more than like 11 or something, and they just have repeat charges of the same offense. Let me go ahead to the next comment. Zaza, I see you. I'll bring you in the studio in 1 second once we're done taking comments. Everton is just the beginning. I think bigger statement punishments are coming for City and Chelsea. I hope so. Great panel, by the way. Appreciate it. Thank you, bro. Henry Ibitoken says, so in essence, he's the new Mayu. Yeah, Henry.
Are they talking about who? They are talking about.
He's talking about the Mamelodi coach.
Let him stay. His young shall grow. Let him.
And before you go, I want us to hear from Zaza. Zaza, what's going on, bro? Welcome.
I'm all right, bro. How you doing?
Good. What do you? I'm guessing you called in to talk about Everton.
Yeah. Quickly, I'll just go in and out. My thoughts on the Everton thing is very simple. I'm not trying to make a defense of Everton because the people keep trying to conceptualize it by saying stuff like Everton, have been, they don't have good lawyers, they're not strong enough, they don't have connections, so they're being punished and all that kind of stuff. The main problem here is that the Premier League is not actually seeming to be acting strong on guys that have been doing this thing for years. And then the first set of people that do this, they go 10 points. If 10 points is the punishment for overspending by 20 million, because the offense is for about 20 million, what's the punishment for 200 million?
100 points with that.
Yeah, and then the Premier League said that when the Super League was done, the Premier League said that
that's true.
Sorry, before I talk about Super League, one of the things Premier League said, the reasons why the commission said that they were using points deduction was that there's no need punishing. It doesn't make sense punishing someone who has money with a monetary offense. So it's better to hit them with points where it hurts. So why did the Premier League now punish the clubs that were trying to form Super League, which is worse than this offense, with money punishment?
Which is true.
Yes.
So it starts looking very weird because when City do not get punished, or it takes another 10 years, Everton won't forget it. Fans won't forget it. Chelsea, some people are saying Chelsea self-reported, so they might not get a harsh punishment. Everton kind of self-reported because Everton never denied it. Everton has been working with the FA.
They've been cooperative, yeah.
Yeah, they're working with the Premier League, so it's it looks like what's it called? City and Chelsea will be get relegated. Because if they don't get relegated, I mean, I've lost all faith. I'll struggle to to understand what just happened.
Yeah.
Did Everton deserve to be punished? Yes. Was the punishment too harsh? Yes, but they actually messed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my quick take on it. But then I'm expecting to see City in League Two. You know,
and that's the thing. So and that's the argument I'm trying to make. Like when you set a precedent like this, right? Everton had one charge, and they were hit with 10-point deduction. If City does get, if they are found guilty, I mean, we're talking relegation across divisions, you know, and possibly stripping away titles, you know. So, but I don't see that happening. I don't think Manchester City will ever get relegated, ever. They will not get, you know, docked points. They will not get stripped away of all these titles they've won. It's not just happening. It's just not gonna happen. So I just feel like the precedent they've set, there is nothing they can do post this punishment to make things look fair. It's not going to happen. Even Chelsea are not going to get relegated or deducted, you know, a huge amount of points commensurate to whatever charges they were found guilty of. But whatever. Anyway, Zaza, appreciate you for joining, bro.
my pleasure, man. Pleasure. Have a good week, the rest of you.
All right.
See you.
Yes, boss.
Ayo says Ignacio Alguacil is my most underrated manager. He manages at Real Sociedad. Okay, did not know about him. Ola goes again. Big and small clubs get punished for FFP all across Europe. That's true. I have a link. Yeah, me rightly pointed out that even Man United got punished and have had to comply with FFP. True. Everton would appeal and get it reduced to 6 months or something less. Well, yeah, we'll see. Ehis, who's your most underrated manager?
For me, I'll say I don't think I really have any manager that I think is being underrated. But if I want to talk about that, I'll talk probably Spalletti, who won the Scudetto with Napoli. I don't think he was nominated for anything like the award that just passed. You know,
Did they? I don't remember. That's true.
I don't think. No,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
okay.
It was not.
Another is gone. Napoli is feeling.
Yeah, you know.
Nah, Napoli are looking dead. Yeah.
That's
and they fired the new. I think it's Sanchez or something. The guy that is there now.
Yeah.
They fired him already?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rudy Garcia.
Rudy Garcia fired.
Rudy Garcia. Wow.
They just appointed Maserati, the former Inter and Watford.
Oh, the Inter defender.
Yeah, as interim manager until the end of. So I don't think because not in football they don't talk about the underrated people. They talk about the people that are on
of course.
Right? So
it makes it's actually very, very. It's one of the most tactically sound Italian coaches.
Yeah.
And when I mean tactically sound, I mean tactically very flexible. It's like the younger version of this guy. What's his name? The guy that coaches Real Madrid again. Ancelotti. Is this in player management nowadays in the game? I don't know who I was talking to. I think it's this our good friend Patrick. Nowadays, man, in the game, you will notice that there's a trend now in this present generation we live in.
Yeah.
You can be the greatest tactically if you are not as good psychological wise. You won't go far. That is why the likes of the Rollins, the Capellos, all those guys cannot coach nowadays. Because they can't. Because they won't survive. Because because the young guys now, they speak a different language. All those other men, they go. There are other people that want the job. So you have to be able to listen, connect with these people. Not just on the soccer field. You have to be able to connect with them here. You can't motivate somebody that does not get you. You come and shouting now don't work. Even we as parents, when we have kids, I can't deal with my child the same way my dad dealt with me.
Right.
I'm in prison.
Yeah.
So I'll be in prison. So that's the way now. I'll be in prison. Well, I'll be in prison. So now, man, it's not just he. I'm just trying to shine a light on him. Spalletti is one of those guys that he has had to grow over the years.
Right.
Tactically good. Player management in those days wasn't really. He was a strict guy. Italian coaches are very strict, but now you notice that most of them are now chilling because now they now get it that my strict thing in those years nowadays it does not.
It doesn't.
If you are not a player manager, if you are not a player manager,
affecting Eric Ten Hag. I think he's too strict for my liking too.
That please, let's not
open a can of worms. Let's not open a can of worms. Itata, tell us who's your underrated coach.
So quickly, just to address here, Miss Take. I actually think the origins are the club. The origin of this issue is the club.
Yeah.
When you begin to overpay a player who has underachieved or who hasn't even arrived, that's where the problem starts.
Yep.
Where you have a 17-year-old making triple the wages of the coach. That's where it starts. If you fix that, you can still sustain a strict environment in the club.
Yeah.
Whereby you have the likes of only Kevin De Bruyne or Haaland or Salah making the money to have the voice to talk to the coach. Instead of having maybe like Kobe Mainoo being able to talk or Sancho being able to talk to the coach.
Yeah.
So I think the clubs are responsible for the ecosystem we have now, where players are spoiled, corrupt, and think they're all of a sudden they're these global stars when they haven't achieved anything.
Yep.
Which is true, but can I chip in also? Sorry, can I chip in also? We're also in the age of social media. Most of these players that played in the past, the 70s, 80s, a lot of them got broke after the game. Some of them due to their own doing, drinking, gambling, stuff. Some of them, they just didn't make enough money. And they did not know what to do with their life when they retired. That's why most of them, they played till their 40s, 50s. They sucked, but they still played because they did not make some of them were actually really, really good with money, but they didn't make enough to sustain them 10, 20 years. And you have your children, grandchildren that you have to just cater for. So nowadays, you find these younger players now that everything is about social media, branding. Endorsement here, I have my branding here, I have my branding here. Most of them are thinking 10, 15, 20 years after the game, what am I doing? Am I still relevant? So what they are banking on now is their branding. So now you have to be careful of who you talk to players now, because guess what? If you go and talk to them anyhow, they are going to stand up for themselves and speak, because we are not going to mess up my branding. Because as of right now, in this present day and age, football to these people is a job.
It's a job, yeah.
It's a job. For most of them, football is a job. When they are done with this job, they're already thinking 20 years. So now they are trying to make as much so that they are relevant when they can have an average this is soccer career. But I know if I have the charisma, if I can talk and stuff, I'm going to go to this BBC. Sky Sports or BBC. My career continues. But if I sit down and let you bash, you talk rubbish and somebody talk bad about your name, and then you go to that place, man, is it not you that coach said that you didn't train well, you didn't do anything? So these are the things that Itata brought up a very good point, the clubs. But as of where we are right now, what is happening is happening. There are players that make more than the coaches. Those things need to change. But also, the coaches too now we all have to evolve. As the team needs to evolve, the players need to evolve and demand much for themselves, better than what they are giving. But also, the coaches too need to, if you are the authoritarian guy, you are not going to have a job. You have to be able to merge that firm voice with being a player's manager, where you are their daddy, you are their psychologist, you are everything. So with that, you fit both worlds, because you can't talk to A the same way you talk to B, the same way you talk to C. If some people, they need a spanking, some people need hug, some people need kiss, some people need that you just connecting with them mentally. If you are the type that can figure those things out, then you are the greatest. Pep has it. Real Madrid coach has it. Xavi is developing it right now. That's why they're in the top.
Yeah, but what you're saying is nothing new. It's nothing new. Sir Alex Ferguson and Cantona, it's been happening. I'm just saying the clubs need to stop paying stupid wages to players who haven't achieved anything.
Standard. I agree.
That's it.
100%.
If you fix that, a player now would be humble to listen to the coach without a fat bank account.
Are you trying to talk about Rashford here?
I'm talking about all of them. All of them.
No. Yeah, let's jump on. Yeah, we're talking about Rashford too. Yes.
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
All of them. Rashford, Sancho, the rest of. And I think
English
is actually
English
serious.
yeah,
I think it
precisely.
is a serious thing. I think the clubs are primarily responsible for what we are seeing now.
Which is true. Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with Itata on this too, because and Ayo usually says some things, and he talks about it in the within the framework of like, paying transfer fees and bringing players into the club, and actually also salaries as well. You should not be paying a player for past efforts. You should be paying for what this guy will deliver right now and project, into the future. I'm sorry, like there is no universe in which Jadon Sancho should have been paid 350,000 or whatever a week. It's like it doesn't happen. And Yemi, we see this actually, what Itata is saying, we see it being practiced well in other clubs. What kind of world do we live in where Jadon Sancho earns more than Mohamed Salah? What kind of world do we live in where Marcus Rashford earns more money than than players that are actually doing bits in Arsenal and Liverpool, and like it starts with the club. It starts with the club, and United are notorious for paying just ridiculous money. Look, I love Casemiro. There is no world in which Casemiro should have been given a 5-year contract at the age of 31. No way. So that let me read comments. Let me read comments real quick. Man management with an in-depth understanding of psychology, says Henry. Henry says I disagree with that. I think he was talking about what Jamie was saying. Market dictates a player's worth. A job and a business. I don't understand what that is. Yep, that ship has sailed a long time ago. Itata, I think top players have always earned more than coaches, even historically.
Yeah, but top players.
Top, exactly.
And I did specify. When I made my comment, I said Kevin De Bruyne, Salah, Haaland.
Yeah. Top players.
If they make whatever they make, we are not complaining.
Hold on. Yeah. Pause. Itata, sorry. You mentioned Haaland.
Yeah.
Should Haaland be making 350?
I mean, he's scored so many goals. That's what I'm saying.
In Germany.
I just think any player that does his job perfectly
should be paid whatever he wants.
So
should be paid well. Provided you can negotiate provided you can negotiate. Just make sure you can play. Just make sure you play. Let your play. If you play well, nobody's talking about your money. That's what you're saying.
If you show up now and tell me that Real Madrid want to pay Zidane £500,000 a week, you're not going to really feel horrible, or Ronaldinho, or Ronaldo Lima. You're gonna be like, damn, that's a lot of money. Bet it's still
a player.
Messi.
Same thing. Yes.
Ronaldo.
You can't complain. You can't. Yeah. But if you're going to tell me now that you're giving Martinelli £450,000 a week for what?
Yeah.
Who is Martinelli? He's a good player, but what has he done?
Exactly?
Yeah,
that's true.
Clubs need to start fixing that. Fix clubs. If clubs fix that, because it's really the financial might that speaks. It's not really the players. Because the player looks at the coach. Coach makes £10,000 a week, and he's making £350,000.
You know, get mouth now.
Yeah, what are you going to say to me? Type thing.
But also, you have to look at it also this way. Even when the players, listen, the coach can be making more. But when you know that, most of these players now, close 75 of them, 75% of them, they're already millionaires, right? Yeah, and there are ways you talk to grown millionaires.
Yes.
Nowadays, there are ways you talk to young millionaires. Yeah, these young boys that have money.
The flip side is
the arrogance of everything is on the high. Young boys will just
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying the flip
No,
side to that
no. You're
is
correct. Oh. You're
the flip
correct.
side to that is an empty wallet is a humble ear.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
100%.
If you don't have the money, you're going to shut up. So
But
you don't end up.
But I don't think this will change anytime soon.
Yeah, unfortunately. But
So that's the thing.
no, I think that I think clubs can come together and make it in such a way that the players' excess money is branding, not what the club is paying for weekly wage.
I don't think that's the
You don't have control over the branding, but I think with the weekly wage, you can put up a structure where you don't have to be giving 16-year-olds 350,000.
I think it's the league. I think it's the league that has to do a wage cap. A wage cap.
Yeah.
It's almost like that in basketball. It's almost like that in basketball, where like if you're a rookie, you come in with a rookie contract, right? Yeah. Your rookie contract lasts you for like 3-4 years before they even think of them trying to take you to the next level. So now there's max contract. There's the super max contract in NBA. Then there's the max contract. Then there's average level contract. If you're a rookie, that rookie year, your first rookie year, you're on your rookie contract. Yeah. No matter how good you are. Ja Morant, everybody's talking Ja Morant, who is one of the best. Luka Doncic. He just started, he just clocked, he's going to start making his multi-millions. But this Luka Doncic has been schooling the basketball league for like 3 years.
Didn't he just win? Didn't he just win a championship too?
No, Luka Doncic.
That's Jokic.
Jokic.
It's like that in basketball, where like you come in with a rookie contract. No matter how great you are.
Yeah.
You come in from high school or from college to university, from college to the NBA, your first 3-4 years, you're on a rookie contract. Where like there's a cap, there's a major cap. Now, man, for you to get to the supermax, you don't dictate that though. The press, the coaches, and few players, yes, they have a committee now that they let you know, yes, this guy should enter the supermax. Yeah. Or this guy should be at the max contract. So like they can put that too also in this and also in the game of this soccer. And that is universal. That could be universal in the Premier League, where like you can have the supermax. So and then your play has to warrant it. It's not just club. There's a uniformity between clubs to send representative coaches. Right. The press, the bad thing about it is the press too has a say. So man, if the press comes in and they are killing your name, you can jump from a max player to a low-level player. A player like Westbrook. Yeah. The press destroyed him to a point where a guy that was making this in 30-something million a year went down to 5 million a year.
Yes, that is why he needs to learn to pick his passes and his assists instead of being rash. He's making what his decision is making.
My guy. My guy. Good.
I'm telling you, that's how it needs to be. I think it needs to start from there, in my opinion.
Does that also equate to a guy that plays like Westbrook on our team?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Hey, Jola, you are the money.
Listen, let's go back to the topic of discussion. I never heard about your own coach.
Yeah. I'll just list it just for obvious reasons. Xabi Alonso.
Okay.
Yep.
For Bayer Leverkusen. Eddie Howe, Newcastle. Jonathan Giraldes, Barcelona Femina, and Jamel Belmadi, who is the Algerian national team coach.
Yeah.
Consistency. Okay. So those 4 coaches are like underrated. They're not talked about, but what they've been able to achieve with the resources is remarkable.
Good.
Yeah. And we're gonna go to players now. So who's your underrated player, Itata?
I never even thought about it. Underrated player. Well, he's not underrated, but Zaire Emery at Paris.
Barcelona?
No, at PSG. Zaire Emery.
Oh, that boy. Yeah.
He will sit at the pinnacle of. He will sit at Mount Everest very, very soon.
Yeah.
Good player. Good pick.
Right. Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah, the boy is good. And here's.
I'll say I think I like Jamal Musiala. Like I think young, and that guy for me will be. If he continues the way he plays, I think he'll be.
If he fixes his finishing,
he
does everything except finish well.
I like the guy. I think he's
a sick player.
With my own underrated player, I mean, look, it has to be Anthony, man. Anthony Dos Santos at Manchester United.
He's underrated.
Yeah, he's underrated. I mean, if somebody can spin that much like an office chair and still remain straight, sorry, like, come on, man.
That's overrated?
Yeah, Anthony Dos Santos at Manchester United is underrated.
Anthony.
For somebody who spins that much and he hasn't fallen down yet and hit his head on the ground and suffered a concussion, man, man's balance is underrated. Big man thing. The guy, like, I've never seen this guy spins better than the Wheel of Fortune. This guy spins more than a set of 22s. Like, this guy spins so much, Snoop Dogg should put him on a low rider. Yeah, like the kind of spinning he does, and you know the way he's able to maintain balance, it's really impressive. That's just me. And for manager, I mean, same thing. Eric Ten Hag, you know, smoking that much weed and still being alive. You know, I mean, look, it's
a wealthy rich. He's a wealthy smoker, though.
Huh?
He's a very wealthy rich smoker.
That's the thing. Like, you rarely see people who smoke that much weed, but then still remain, you know, at that millionaire status. Like, the guy smokes so much weed, he doesn't even win the Manchester United salary to survive.
I do have a name, though. I do have a name of a player that I don't think he's on that. I think he's underrated because he's not in Europe. Itata has heard me mention this name a lot of times. Andre Trindade plays for Flamengo midfield.
Did he just win the Copa Libertadores as well?
Flamengo, yeah.
Okay.
No.
That dude
is Fluminense.
Fluminense, sorry.
Yeah. Fluminense. Yeah, Fluminense. My bad.
Okay.
That dude. Okay. In short, think of Xavi Alonso with sprinkling of Busquets.
Okay.
That's
press resistance.
That's a huge compliment.
That's what I'm saying. Press
I'm
resistance.
gonna try and find out.
I mean, that's a big statement. And if it turns out this guy is dead food, I'm gonna bring you up on charges. If it turns out the guy is dead food, I'm going to bring you up on charges.
Listen. Would you
I could do you like Everton.
Would you translate to Europe? He's that type of a player that he needs to be in the right hand. Most of these players that we mentioned, the Busquets, the Youngs, they fell into the right hand of coaches knew how to harness those qualities and push them to the next level. We are talking Rodri right now. Imagine if Rodri fell into the hands of a Capello, and Capello is like, no. We won't be talking about Rodri.
Or Conte.
Because Rodri, you remember we had a conversation when he said Rodri has always been like this.
Rodri has always been
People
like this.
are just realizing now.
Okay, right now, when he was in Atletico Madrid,
but he was young. He was also young.
But he was younger. But the best thing that happened to him was it went into the hand of Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola now. We are talking of Kimmich.
Yes, sir, Kimmich.
Sorry. We are talking of Lamb. Lamb that is a right back, left back. Got into midfield, got into the hand of Pep.
Yep.
Now we are talking of Andre Trindade. Go and watch him. Fluminense. You will be, man, close control every.
Let me take quick comments. Other girls, by the way, I agree with Zaza about sending Man City to League 2 and stripping them of titles. I want to Armstrong FC. Henry goes, greed and self-interest wouldn't let that happen. I think he's talking about player salaries. Ruben Amorim, underrated coach. Dio.
Very good.
That's a shout out. Yeah, that's a good shout out.
That's a good shout. Very good coach.
Henry Savage. I'm not sure what was saying. Savage.
Is that Robbie Savage, a coach?
David Simmons.
A young and interesting player in David Simmons. Yes, that is true. That is.
Yeah, he's killing it for Netherlands.
Yeah, that's facts. And honestly, I mean, I think I'm keeping my eye on that boy at Chelsea, Cole Palmer. I think he's a ice cold baller. I like him.
Yeah,
I like him.
He can play.
It's his mentality, though. He's not on his unfazed.
Yeah.
When a young player is unfazed, you know, Rooney, Fabregas, Bellingham, when they are unfazed, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we go to the under 17 teams update, I also wanna. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sure you guys have seen it. There was this video where Jose Mourinho was talking about Javi Alonso and how Javi Alonso was pretty much he was groomed. He's been groomed to be a legit coach. He had a player. Yeah, his dad was a player. He played under great coaches. He played under Pep, played under Carlo Ancelotti,
Played under Mourinho.
played under Jose Mourinho, and it's no
Played under
surprise.
Benitez.
Rafa Benitez.
And he came under a very, very good youth coach when he was in was it Baka? No, not Baka. He was in Real Sociedad. It was in Sociedad. Like
who was
all
that?
times.
Alonso.
Oh, really? Okay.
Alonso and Ateta, they actually grew like they were trained. It's like this from a young kid. Your mind is trained on the game. You from a young kid in his club.
Yeah.
So that's why you can see it when he plays. The guy is. Yeah. Itata knows my affection for Xabi Alonso. Alonso is.
Dante is my most underrated player. He has been incredible at Nice and never gets talked about. That is true. You guys should.
Kudos is not underrated in my opinion.
Kudos is not underrated. But we love Kudos. We love Kudos. Okay, Itata. I don't know anything about under 17 African football, so please.
Okay, so I'm gonna run through the under 17 World Cup. Is Indonesia hosting it?
Okay.
So I'll just list the groups and the teams that qualified. So the 4 African countries that went were Morocco, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Senegal.
Okay.
So right now, as the group standing, so it's a team of 24, 6 groups. So the top 2 from each group qualify, and I think 4 best third place teams join them for the round of 16. So Group A, Morocco qualified with 6 points, and that group had Morocco, Ecuador, Indonesia, and Panama. So Morocco and Ecuador qualified. 6 points, Morocco, Ecuador, 5 points. Group B, Spain, Mali, Uzbekistan, Canada. Spain, 7 points. Mali, 6 points. Uzbekistan, 4 points. Group C, England, Brazil, Iran, New Caledonia. England, 6 points. Brazil, 6 points. Iran, 6 points. So England, Brazil, and Iran qualified.
Okay.
Yeah, because Iran had 6 points as third place team. Group B, Argentina, Senegal, Japan, and Poland. So Argentina, Senegal, and Japan, all 6 points. Poland, 0.
Okay.
Group E, France, USA, Burkina Faso, South Korea. France won all their games, 9 points. USA, 6 points. Burkina Faso did not qualify on 3 points. And Group F, Germany, Mexico, Venezuela, and New Zealand. Germany had 9 points. They won all their games. Mexico, 4 points. Venezuela, 4 points. So Venezuela also qualified. So on Monday, the round of 16 will begin. So Ecuador play Brazil on Monday, 8:30 GMT. And by the way, all the games are showed on FIFA Plus. So if you have FIFA Plus and you can wake up at 3 a.m. here in the United States, you will watch it. So Monday is Ecuador, Brazil, 8:30 GMT. Spain, Japan, noon GMT. And Tuesday, there are 4 games. Germany versus United States, 8:30 GMT. Mali and Mexico, 8:30 GMT. And then Morocco play Iran at noon GMT. Argentina, Venezuela, noon GMT. And then on Wednesday, there are 2 games. England, Uzbekistan, 8:30 GMT. And the game of the round, France versus Senegal. They're the 2 strongest teams in this tournament. They play noon GMT on Wednesday. That's the game to watch. So it's going to be 6 a.m. Central Time, United States, in case anybody wants to watch it. And of course, just to dive in, the World Cup qualifiers for CAF. There are 9 groups with 6 teams each, and they've played 2 rounds of games so far. And of course, the Super Eagles have been piss poor. So in Nigeria is in Group C with South Africa, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Rwanda, and Benin Republic. And right now, Nigeria is second in the group with 2 draws, and they've played terrible football. So hopefully things change in the next game. And the group of death for me is Group A, which has Egypt, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Ethiopia, Sierra Leone, and Djibouti. So far it's really competitive. It's good, except it's Nigeria not pulling their weight. But yeah, that's it for the roundup. Just in case people want to catch up, it's good to watch those tournaments. The likes of Totti, Fabregas, Veron, all of these guys played in the World Under 17 tournament. Osimhen, Iheanacho here, Kanu. So yeah, if you have time, it's good to tune in. You can catch someone who will probably win the Ballon d'Or in 5 years. That's how it usually pans out like that.
Okay. All Mr. Right. Jola, Mr. Moderator, do you have 2 minutes? I just have somebody asked me this 3 questions, so I just want to throw it. It's a question.
All right. We'll do your question and then we'll go to Kudos and Donkey.
Yeah. Okay. 3 questions. You have a chance to bring in one player that played from the past in the 90s.
Into what team?
2000. Into your national team. Into your
one player.
You said 90s and mid 2000s.
In the mid 2000s, into your national team, and you think that one player can push you to the semi-final of a World Cup, at the very least, who would that be? Itata. One player. You've watched Nigerian football this one. One player that you think if he comes in.
Super Eagles are on live support. One wouldn't do it.
But if you are going to give me one, who will you pick?
Into the current team, right?
In the team that I watched today, right? maybe Christ Jesus.
Itata, give me a name quickly. One name.
The closest man, because so I'm thinking of what they will provide the current team and change it for I would pick Mikel.
Okay, good.
I'll pick Mikel for Nigeria.
Sir, Mr. Jola, who will you pick?
Oh, so the player has to be from the same country, right? Can't be from another country.
Yeah.
No.
Sheesh. I'll actually bring Coach Stephen Keshi back.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, you're bringing back the coach? Yeah,
I'm bringing back the coach, Stephen Keshi. That's what I'm bringing back.
Yeah. You, sir, Mr. East.
I think I'll bring. I think Daniel Amakachi. I'll bring Daniel Amakachi because these boys will get. They're too quiet for my liking. Even the coach, for me, the coach is a worry. It's another worry. The coach
now scam. The coach now scam.
And I say Stephen Keshi because if push comes to shove, if he wear jersey, if he play.
and he was actually his 2013 team that won the AFCON.
Exactly.
Actually played well.
Yeah, who's your own player?
Okocha.
JJ. Okay. Yeah.
On this current team.
Okocha. We don't have
because we don't get midfield.
We don't get midfield.
No, we're
not.
Everybody.
I actually think Mikel will provide more than JJ.
Mikel will not provide JJ
with the current team.
You know the reason why? No.
Baba don't freeze though. Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, because internet don't say that choice of JJ. that choice don't. Now that choice don't freeze.
Well, let me just take this comment while Yemi figures himself out.
Yeah, Sunday Lisa too is a good shout.
Yeah. But
Mikel played that role. But Mikel, to me, in that role with all the ammunition, is slightly better than Olise. Olise has the leadership, would ginger everybody, but on the field execution, I think Mikel might be better as a deep lying midfielder to help the team.
Let me read this comment from Nigeria. It has to be a defensive player. Sunday Olise, we have problem at defense. Olise is a natural leader. Sacking Raw was a mistake, and then he goes, "Stop that nonsense with the coach. We need to lift him up." Which have made him lose internet.
To be honest, the guy I wanted back is Sunday Olise. And it was Olise that I've always thought about. Is Olise. Yeah. Like with Olise.
The reason I did not pick Olise is, and I picked Mikel, apart from skill set, is Mikel is of the Olise will come in and they won't be able to cope with him because he's a disciplinarian. And these are these kids that are making so much money playing rubbish. So Mikel would do better.
So basically, just like what we spoke about in the past.
That's why I picked Mikel.
Okay.
Okay.
Dola, Mr. Moderator.
All right, let's go to kudos and donkey. Ehis, let's start with you. Who's your kudos? Who do you give kudos to this week?
This week, including today, right? Because I just watched Romelu Lukaku score 4 goals in 39 minutes. So,
Against who?
Against
Gibraltar.
no,
I'm just joking.
Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still
so you mean part-time plumbers? Part-time plumbers.
Yeah, he scored 4 goals. So for me, I think he did well,
Well done. Which Timberland boots you score on a regular? Itata, who's your kudos?
So for me, I think.
Okay, all right. Shout out Lukaku. I mean, always good to see our African brother doing well.
Yeah, my kudos is actually 2.
Okay.
Number 1 is Luis Diaz of Colombia.
Yeah.
Scoring twice against Brazil with all that he went through, and his father being in the crowd to watch him. I think it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
And my other kudos is to all African teams that qualified for the round of 16 of the U17. I think it's a good thing. You guys know how I feel about African teams and the global stage. So, yeah.
All right. Yemi, who's your kudos?
Okocha.
You're mute, bro. We can't hear you. Okay, now you're still on mute. On mute now. Baba, we still don't hear you.
That's spiritual microphone. Get the
room. Okay, I think this is that it goes. Donkey to Gibraltar, Super Eagles, and there's Africa. Yeah, my own kudos. I was going to talk about Luis Diaz as well. Yemi, can you hear everything good?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Who's your kudos?
Man, my kudos is actually weird enough. It's Netherlands.
Okay.
I saw them play yesterday, and they missed their whole defensive line. Every last person is gone. They had to rely on Blind, a 37-year-old man, to come and play defense, and they still won. Their midfield, no De Jong, no Charlotte, no.
Who do they play against?
They played. Is it Ireland?
Oh, okay.
Ireland. That's a good win.
Yeah. Okay.
One. So.
For mention that now that coach are the home.
yeah. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Are you back? Yeah, we can hear you.
So that's my kudos. My donkey is the Nigerian team. What a
Me too.
They're just useless.
Super Eagles.
Nigeria just useless.
No.
Bruh. Yeah, I hear that.
I think they should strip that super until they start winning. Call them Eagles, Nigeria.
Just call them Eagles. Just call them Eagles. Exactly. Just
call them Eagles, man.
So I'm guessing Ahis, Nigeria is your donkey as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is Nigeria and the FA with this 10-point deduction.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit right with me. For an experimental discipline, it's too much.
I agree. My own donkey. I mean, of course, Nigeria. My own donkey. I'm proactively giving the donkey to Manchester United because I know that they're going to disappoint me when it comes back. So that's what it is.
Right.
But anyway, we have come to the end of the podcast. I'm glad we just about 10 minutes above 1 hour. We did well. We did well.
Yeah, we did well.
But Itata, thank you for the football wisdom you always bring, and you're our chief African football correspondent. In fact, Itata they watch under 7 football self. If you want to know about under 7 tournament, Itata they watch that. But thanks for coming on, bro.
Yes, sir.
And the Emmy man of God, thanks for coming on. Even though your internet kept turning and out, that coach away you talk.
I'm just messing around with your coach, but sorry, man. Calls upon calls upon calls.
Yeah. We know you're a busy man. We know you. Usually Yemi is driving. Usually Yemi. So I know that now that you're not driving, people are calling you. So yeah, we'll let you go. And Ehis, nice to see you again, bro. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, you too. I got come on.
Yeah, bro.
Of course. All
right.
right.
Make una fix on a wrestling fight. He's an Oga Kwame. When una go fight, because this man you asking.
No. See, me, I like to fight at the end of the season when everybody don't chop breakfast. That's when I like to fight.
Yeah, it be like that.
Don't fight during Thanksgiving. Now gift collecting time with this.
Yeah. Thanksgiving. Yeah.
This is not the season to fight anybody. Fight someone.
No, now the end of the season. Now we go.
Now end of season, April. Now April time, yeah, they fight.
April.
Yes.
And everybody have a great weekend.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat, and see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.